Morning guys, Mike from EasyCigarRoller.com. Today we're going to try to get some pyramids rolled out of a bunch of scrap. I take my scrap and I just kind of put it in a baggie or a jar, and it's different stages of wetness, so it gets very moist. So what I've done is I lay it out on the table, let it dry up. I like to have it so it sounds a little crispy. I don't know if you can hear that, but that way it doesn't pack down into a tight mass. These are some big pieces. This is the top trimming, this piece here. I leave them nice and long so I get my drawer. This is a bunch of just small scrap pieces, the odds and ends that we all end up with. So they're all just lying here drying for, they've been doing this for about an hour now. Obviously not all of this, but we've been just here. They're drying, and we're going to try to roll some maybe 5.5 by 52, 54s, and let's see what we get. We'll start from FILLER. We'll take these. So it's going to be a different blend, so you kind of pick dark, light, whatever you think you're going to like. You'll know your own tobaccos. Maybe you can sprinkle, and I don't normally sprinkle this in the middle because it will plug. I'll do that. Put that on there. And break this off, bring it over a nice end. I'll just make a nice cigar, maybe put some of these long tip strips in. Buff it up a little bit. I picked these out. These I'll use this as my binder. Again, it's live, so we'll see what we get. We may have to adjust more or less tobacco in. I think I'm going to need a little more, little piece of some kind of wrapper. We're going to try to make this end a little bigger, so we might put a little more here. Maybe sprinkle in a little of this to make this top piece more like a pyramid, so it tapers. This would be the butt of the cigar. So do that. I don't try to get a lot of scrap, but unfortunately, I think everybody that rolls cigars ends up with some, and what do you do with it? I can turn it into pipe tobacco, but I'm not a big pipe tobacco smoker. So it came out pretty nice. It feels pretty good. Notice this is hopefully going to be a little taper on it. This should have a nice draw. It should be somewhat of a pyramid type shape. I can put it in here for a few minutes to kind of let it settle down. It'll settle in nice, pretty good size, and end up about where I want it to end up. But what I've been doing is I've just been going from bunching, putting on the binder, and then putting on the wrapper. This is a piece of wrapper. I don't know if you can see this, but I cut some of the veins out. I just don't like these big, heavy veins. It's pretty easy to do to get rid of them. Just simply do that and then pull it out. It gets rid of that heavy vein. So from there, I'll put this wrapper on. Which side do you want to be the tip? I like the feel of this one. So being all scrap, they have a tendency to come out a little different shape. Because this one's, you could almost make a perfecto type out of this, which I think I will do. I'll cut that off. take this end of the Perfecto, and then we'll come back and take this last piece and turn it into an end. And considering it's all scrap, I don't think it looks too bad. Should be pretty nice, little Perfecto shape. This will take a little longer to dry since a lot of it is kind of wet. It'll end up to be a decent smoke. Not sure what the flavor would be like, but because it is just a mishmash of whatever you have you bind it. But it's got a nice solid sound. Should be a good, once it dries, a week or two, it'll be nice. We'll go ahead and make another one. Just using scrap. It's costly to throw it out. Oh, that piece is kind of wet. Don't use that right now. Use it again later. I also make fat boys out of all this. I just think they burn better. Just use it all up. Just don't throw it away. Like I said, I can make pipe tobacco out of it also, but I'm not the biggest pipe smoker. I do enjoy pipe more in the summertime, sitting on the deck. This is just a great use for your scrap. This way, a binder piece. Don't want to draw this too tight, so it does still have a nice drawer. Again, this one we can just put in here in the Flexo-Roll instead of going into some kind of mold, because you really don't know, cigar press, you really don't know what size you're going to end up with, since it is all scrap. There'll be a nice smoke. All right, I'm back. We're going to finish these up. This is all scrap again. You can see this one came out kind of a Perfecto shape, a little bit of wrinkling in my wrapper, but that'll be all right. So that'll take a couple weeks for that to dry. This is another scrap one we did. Using this Flexo-Roll, everything comes out pretty smooth. Most of the veins are all pushed in. You can see it got a little bit of a barber pole wrapper. This will be nice. Twist this up. If that hung up on it, you could take this end and cut it off, put a cap on it. But I don't seem to care much about that right now. I might just turn it into a little pigtail. So we'll pigtail that up. Make it look like the whistling pig. And square up this end. So that's one, came up pretty nice, rolls nice and smooth.